Hey there, podcast pals. Welcome back to AI True Crime, your go-to spot for all things intriguing and enigmatic. Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the art world's most jaw-dropping mysteries, the Gardner Museum heist. Picture this: a chilly March night in 1990, two guys saunter into Boston's Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum dressed as cops. But here's the kicker: they weren't there to protect and serve. Nope, they were there to pull off one of the most audacious art thefts in history. 13 priceless masterpieces, including works by Vermeer, Rembrandt, and Degas, vanished into thin air. Poof! Gone. Now, grab your detective hats and join me as we unravel the twists, turns, and tantalizing clues of the Gardner Museum heist. Let's dive in. Situated in Boston's Fenway-Kenmore neighborhood, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum stands as a beacon of cultural heritage. Founded by the remarkable Isabella Stewart Gardner in the late 19th century, the museum is renowned for its eclectic collection and unique atmosphere. Mrs. Gardner, a visionary art collector, established unconventional rules for her museum. Artworks were to remain untouched, bathed in natural light, and the museum's layout preserved exactly as she left it upon her passing. Join us as we uncover the intrigue and mystery surrounding the Gardner Museum heist, where 13 priceless masterpieces vanished overnight, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and speculation. Let's delve into this captivating tale together. On the night of March 18, 1990, two individuals dressed as police officers approached the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston, Massachusetts. Using subterfuge, they gained entry to the museum by claiming to be responding to a disturbance call. Once inside, they swiftly overpowered the museum guards and proceeded to carry out one of the most audacious art thefts in history. Over the course of approximately 81 minutes, the perpetrators systematically removed 13 valuable artworks from the museum's collection. Among the stolen pieces were masterworks by renowned artists such as Johannes Vermeer, Rembrandt van Rijn, Edouard Manet, and Edgar Degas. The thieves methodically cut the artworks from their frames, leaving behind empty spaces that would serve as stark reminders of the brazen crime. Despite the presence of security cameras and motion detectors throughout the museum, the thieves managed to evade detection and make their escape without leaving a trace. By the time the theft was discovered the following morning, the perpetrators had vanished into the night, leaving law enforcement and museum officials scrambling to unravel the mystery of the Gardner Museum heist. In the immediate aftermath of the Gardner Museum heist, investigators uncovered several pieces of evidence at the scene. These included empty frames. Upon discovering the theft the morning after, museum staff found empty frames where the stolen artworks had previously hung. The perpetrators had cut the paintings from their frames, leaving behind only the empty mounts as evidence of their crime. Motion detector records. The museum's security system included motion detectors positioned throughout the building. Analysis of the motion detector records revealed the movements of the thieves as they navigated the museum during the heist. However, this evidence provided limited insight into the identity or motives of the perpetrators. Video footage. Despite the presence of security cameras, the footage obtained from the night of the heist did not capture clear images of the perpetrators' faces or distinguishing features. The thieves had taken steps to conceal their identities, making it difficult for investigators to identify them based on the available video evidence. Witness statements. Museum staff and nearby residents provided witness statements regarding suspicious activity observed in the vicinity of the museum on the night of the heist. However, these statements did not yield significant leads or concrete information regarding the identity of the perpetrators. Overall, while investigators gathered evidence from the scene of the crime, including empty frames and security system records, the lack of conclusive evidence hampered their efforts to identify and apprehend those responsible for the Gardner Museum heist. The paintings themselves were masterpieces, though some choices made by the thieves were strange. The Concert by Johannes Vermeer. Description: a captivating depiction of a musical gathering in a richly detailed interior setting, showcasing Vermeer's mastery of light and composition. Approximate value, estimated at over $200 million. The Storm on the Sea of Galilee by Rembrandt van Rijn. Description: a dramatic seascape capturing a biblical scene of Jesus calming a storm, showcasing Rembrandt's skillful use of light and shadow. Approximate value, estimated at over $100 million. A Lady and Gentleman in Black by Johannes Vermeer. Description: a poignant portrayal of a couple engaged in conversation, renowned for its intimate atmosphere and meticulous attention to detail. Approximate value, estimated at over $200 million. Chez Tortoni by Edouard Manet. Description: a vibrant scene depicting a Parisian café interior, notable for its bold brushwork and innovative composition. Approximate value, estimated at over $50 million. Cortege Auxiliary Environs to Florence by Edouard Manet. Description: an evocative landscape capturing the picturesque countryside near Florence, showcasing Manet's distinctive impressionistic style. Approximate value, estimated at over $50 million. La Sortie de Pesage by Edgar Degas. Description: a dynamic portrayal of horse racing, featuring Degas' signature use of movement and gesture to convey the excitement of the racetrack. Approximate value, estimated at over $50 million. Programme for an Artistic Soirée, Harlequin Musician by Edouard Manet. Description: a whimsical depiction of a costumed musician, embodying the spirit of artistic revelry and entertainment. Approximate value, estimated at over $50 million. Three-Mounted Jockeys by Edgar Degas. Description: a lively composition capturing the energy and athleticism of horse racing, rendered with Degas' characteristic attention to detail. Approximate value, estimated at over $50 million. Christ in the Storm on the Sea of Galilee by Rembrandt van Rijn. Description: a powerful portrayal of the biblical scene of Jesus calming a storm at sea, rendered with Rembrandt's trademark depth and emotion. Approximate value, estimated at over $100 million. Landscape with Obelisk by Govert Flinck. Description: a serene landscape featuring an ancient obelisk, bathed in soft, atmospheric light, reflecting Flink's skill as a landscape painter. Approximate value, estimated at over $100 million. The Concert by Johann Vermeer, Theft of Second Version. Description: a captivating scene depicting musicians performing in an opulent interior, characterized by Vermeer's exquisite attention to detail and use of light. Approximate value, estimated at over $200 million. Self-Portrait by Rembrandt van Rijn. Description: a poignant self-portrait capturing Rembrandt's introspective gaze and masterful handling of texture and expression. Approximate value, estimated at over $100 million. A Landscape with an Obelisk by Govert Flinck. Description: a serene landscape featuring an ancient obelisk, bathed in soft, atmospheric light, reflecting Flink's skill as a landscape painter. Approximate value, estimated at over $100 million. These paintings, collected by Isabella Stewart Gardner, were among the most valuable artworks in the museum's collection, and their theft represented a significant loss to the world of art and cultural heritage. In the early stages of the investigation into the Gardner Museum heist, law enforcement authorities made several mistakes and encountered challenges that hindered their ability to effectively pursue leads and apprehend the perpetrators. Delayed response: one of the primary criticisms leveled against the police was the delayed response to the theft. The theft occurred during the early hours of the morning, but the crime was not discovered until several hours later, when museum staff arrived for work. This delay provided the perpetrators with a crucial head start and limited the immediate investigative opportunities available to law enforcement. Lack of coordination. In the immediate aftermath of the heist, there was a lack of coordination and communication between various law enforcement agencies involved in the investigation. The FBI, local police departments, and other entities initially worked in isolation rather than collaborating effectively to pool resources and expertise. Failure to secure crime scene. Upon discovering the theft, museum staff and responding officers inadvertently disturbed the crime scene by moving objects and handling evidence before forensic analysis could be conducted. This compromised limited surveillance footage. While the museum was equipped with security cameras and motion detectors, the quality of the surveillance footage was insufficient to provide clear images of the perpetrators' faces or distinguishing features. This limitation hampered efforts to identify and track the individuals responsible for the theft. Focus on traditional leads. In the early stages of the investigation, law enforcement authorities primarily focused on traditional investigative avenues, such as interviewing witnesses and following up on potential suspects. However, this approach yielded limited results, as the perpetrators had taken steps to conceal their identities and evade detection. Public pressure and speculation. The high-profile nature of the Gardner Museum heist generated significant public attention and speculation, placing pressure on law enforcement authorities to quickly solve the case. This intense scrutiny and media coverage sometimes led to premature conclusions and misguided leads, diverting resources from more productive investigative efforts. Overall, the early investigation into the Gardner Museum heist was marked by missteps, challenges, and limitations that complicated the pursuit of justice and contributed to the enduring mystery surrounding the crime. Layout, security systems, and protocols may have played a role in orchestrating the crime. Several factors contributed to the suspicion of an inside job. Knowledge of security systems. The perpetrators demonstrated a sophisticated understanding of the museum's security systems, evading detection by disabling alarms and avoiding areas with surveillance cameras. This level of familiarity suggested that they may have had insider knowledge of the museum's security measures. Access to restricted areas. The thieves gained entry to the museum with relative ease, bypassing security measures and accessing restricted areas without arousing suspicion. This raised questions about how they obtained access to the museum and whether they had assistance from someone familiar with its layout. Selective targeting of artworks. The thieves targeted specific artworks of significant value, including masterpieces by renowned artists such as Vermeer, Rembrandt, and Degas. Their ability to identify and locate these valuable pieces suggested a level of insider knowledge regarding the museum's collection. Timed heist. The timing of the heist, which occurred during the early hours of the morning when the museum was relatively quiet, also raised suspicions. It suggested that the perpetrators may have had insider information about the museum's operating hours and security staffing levels. While the theory of an inside job was considered by investigators, no conclusive evidence was found to definitively support this hypothesis. Despite extensive inquiries and scrutiny of museum staff and associates, no individuals with direct involvement in the theft were identified or charged. The possibility of insider involvement remains a subject of speculation and debate in the ongoing investigation of the Gardner Museum heist. The thieves passed over several, arguably more valuable paintings, perhaps demonstrating a lack of clear knowledge of the art market, or maybe specific orders for specific artwork. In addition to the stolen paintings, several other artworks in the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum were highly valuable. Here are some notable examples. The Rape of Europa by Titian. Description: a masterpiece by the Venetian Renaissance artist Titian, depicting the mythological abduction of Europa by Zeus in the form of a bull. This painting is renowned for its dynamic composition, rich colors, and emotional intensity. Approximate value, estimated at over $200 million. The Death of Hyacinthos by Jean-Baptiste Camille Corot. Description: a poignant depiction of the tragic death of the youth Hyacinthos in Greek mythology, rendered with Corot's characteristic blend of classical beauty and romantic sensibility. The painting showcases Corot's mastery of landscape and figure painting. Approximate value, estimated at over $50 million. El Jaleo by John Singer Sargent. Description: a striking portrait of a Spanish dancer performing the flamenco, capturing the energy and passion of the dance in vibrant brushstrokes and bold colors. Sargent's portrayal of movement and expression makes this painting a standout in the museum's collection. Approximate value, estimated at over $50 million. The Daughters of Edward Darley Boyd by John Singer Sargent. Description: a group portrait of the four daughters of the American expatriate Edward Darley Boyd, depicted in an interior setting with enigmatic expressions and atmospheric lighting. Sargent's innovative composition and psychological insight elevate this painting to a masterpiece of portraiture. Approximate value, estimated at over $100 million. Portrait of Isabella Stewart Gardner by John Singer Sargent. Description: a captivating portrait of the museum's founder, Isabella Stewart Gardner, depicted in regal attire with a commanding presence and penetrating gaze. Sargent's skillful rendering of detail and character imbues the portrait with a sense of dignity and charisma. Approximate value, estimated at over $50 million. These paintings, along with the stolen masterpieces, formed the core of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum's collection, representing a diverse range of artistic styles and periods. Their loss, along with the stolen artworks, represents a significant blow to the museum and the broader cultural heritage landscape. The Gardner Museum heist has remained one of the most perplexing and enduring mysteries in the world of art theft, giving rise to numerous theories about the identity of the perpetrators and their motivations. Here are 5 of the most prominent theories. Organized crime involvement. One prevailing theory suggests that the Gardner Museum heist was orchestrated by organized crime syndicates with connections to the black market for stolen art. Proponents of this theory argue that the theft was meticulously planned and executed by seasoned criminals seeking to profit from the illicit trade in valuable artworks. The stolen paintings, including works by renowned artists such as Vermeer and Rembrandt, would fetch exorbitant sums on the underground art market, making them attractive targets for criminal organizations seeking to launder money or secure collateral for illicit activities. Some speculate that the theft may have been commissioned by wealthy collectors or criminal patrons looking to add prestigious artworks to their private collections, with little regard for the cultural significance or legal ramifications of their actions. Insider job. Another widely discussed theory posits that the Gardner Museum heist was an inside job orchestrated with the assistance of individuals with knowledge of the museum's security systems and protocols. Proponents of this theory point to the perpetrators' ability to navigate the museum with precision, disable alarms, and evade detection by security cameras as evidence of insider involvement. The theft's meticulous planning and selective targeting of specific artworks suggest that the perpetrators had intimate knowledge of the museum's collection and layout, allowing them to execute the crime with relative ease. Some speculate that disgruntled museum employees or individuals with ties to the art world may have collaborated with external accomplices to orchestrate the heist for personal gain or as an act of revenge against the institution. Political motivation. There is speculation that the Gardner Museum heist may have been politically motivated, with the stolen artworks serving as bargaining chips or symbols of power in geopolitical conflicts. Some theorists suggest that foreign governments or extremist groups may have orchestrated the theft to exert influence, destabilize cultural institutions, or fund illicit activities. The strategic timing of the heist, which coincided with major international events or diplomatic tensions, has led some to speculate that it may have been intended to send a message or provoke a response from authorities. However, concrete evidence supporting this theory remains elusive, and the true motives behind the theft continue to be the subject of speculation and debate. Art World Insider. Building upon the insider job theory, some experts speculate that the Gardner Museum heist may have been perpetrated by individuals with connections to the art world, including collectors, dealers, or connoisseurs. Proponents of this theory argue that the stolen artwork's value and significance make them attractive targets for individuals seeking to enhance their prestige or manipulate the art market. The theft may have been driven by a desire to acquire valuable artworks for personal gain, enhance one's reputation in the art world, or assert dominance over rival collectors or institutions. Alternatively, the stolen paintings may have been targeted as part of an elaborate scheme to manipulate art prices, launder money, or secure leverage in high-stakes negotiations within the secretive world of art dealing. Copycat heist or diversion. Some theorists speculate that the Gardner Museum heist may have been inspired by previous art thefts or intended as a diversionary tactic to distract authorities from other criminal activities. The theft's audacious execution and historical significance have led some to view it as an attempt to replicate past successes or create chaos and confusion within law enforcement circles. Alternatively, the heist may have been orchestrated as a diversionary tactic to divert attention from more lucrative criminal enterprises or to facilitate the commission of other crimes while authorities were preoccupied with the investigation. However, this theory remains speculative, and there is limited evidence to support claims of copycat behavior or coordinated criminal activity. In conclusion, while numerous theories have been proposed to explain the Gardner Museum heist, the true identity of the perpetrators and their motivations remain shrouded in mystery. The complexity of the case, combined with the lack of definitive evidence, continues to fuel speculation and intrigue, ensuring that the Gardner Museum heist remains one of the most captivating and enduring unsolved mysteries in the world of art crime. As we conclude our exploration of the Gardner Museum heist, one thing remains abundantly clear: the mystery surrounding this audacious art theft continues to captivate and intrigue us. From the enigmatic perpetrators to the priceless masterpieces that vanished into thin air, the Gardner Museum heist is a story that defies easy explanation and leaves us grappling with unanswered questions. As we've delved into the various theories and speculations surrounding the theft, it's become apparent that the truth may never be fully uncovered. Whether it was the work of organized crime syndicates, insiders with intimate knowledge of the museum, or political actors seeking to manipulate the art world, the Gardner Museum heist remains an enigma that continues to fascinate scholars, investigators, and armchair detectives alike. But fear not, dear listeners, for our journey into the world of intriguing mysteries is far from over. Join us next time as we delve into another captivating tale from the annals of history, the murder of Harvey Milk. From his groundbreaking activism to the tragic events that cut his life short, the story of Harvey Milk is one of courage, resilience, and the enduring fight for justice. Don't miss it. Until then, keep your eyes peeled for clues, your minds open to possibilities, and your curiosity piqued. This is AI True Crime, signing off.